Regis!
Damn it. Locked. No way I got the place wrong. This is it. Gotta be. Gotta be another way in around here.
Oh my god.
More eggs. Need to incinerate these to ash. Stench.
Agreed to meet a vampire at a cemetery. How much more cliché can you get?
Nothing comes readily to mind.
Could have left the door
I'm back,
unlatched.
vítaj späť. On nic neprišiel, iba o pitlík plný potíží. O širavé trable sme prišli.
I knew you'd find a way to get in.
True enough. Need to
Dobrá.
find your friend. I'm hoping you'll agree to
Odkedy
help.
mám plný set, mám z toho brnka, ešte nevylepšený, tak akože to ide o dosť lepšie. A získala som nové mutageny. No.
Come on. Gotta be some way.
A som s upírom. Vyzerá jak Edward, ale asi v pohode, no.
Vampires can evade detection by the senses, and no divination magic works on us. Even the most precise
A kúpila som novú posteľ, nový stolík a vylepšila som stajňu preklepnú.
would be useless.
And this? Could this help?
Wherever did you get that?
Off one of the beast's victims, found by a bend in the river. Body was chopped in pieces. 3 of those pieces were hands. Hand with the ring seemed the odd one out.
A ty jak sa máš, čo si robil, jak to ide? Píš všetko. Aký máš víkend? Poňuchaj, poňuchaj. Nice. No.
It's Detlav's hand, without a doubt. It will do splendidly.
The hand. What do you plan to do with it?
You've heard of Kovinaris'
A
theory.
dám ti otázku, ktorú používam na každého. Chcel by si byť zaklínač?
Rings a distant bell. Read about it in Alchemia Oblitera. There's a copy at Kaer Morhen, tattered, nearly disintegrated. But if memory serves, Kovinaris never managed to prove it worked.
He did prove it, just never managed to publish his findings. He and I corresponded, you see, after we became friends. Thus, I know he completed his research and performed the first tests. It's complicated, so without delving into details, it is possible to use any piece of tissue to reconstruct what a whole body experienced.
How's it work?
Práve som sa vrátil z barbecue, nice.
Special equipment?
Shiro, nebí ma za to, že ja
Decoction which Covenant gave a rather poetic name, resonance.
Sekam,
Once imbibed, it
pauzem.
sends one into a trance
Scénky.
similar to that
Pri nich
used
sa
in
najlepšie kecaš
narcotics.
čitom.
This triggers visions of events linked to strong emotions experienced by the tissue's owner. Picture it as dreaming a fragment of someone's life.
Any chance we might see what Deadloff was doing just before he lost his hand?
Indeed. Though I also hope resonance will reveal the location of Detloff's hideout.
Ring's pretty intriguing. Made of no metal I've ever seen. And the ornamentation.
It comes from our home, where we lived before the conjunction of spheres. It's actually mine. I received it from a dear old friend. You might call him a humanist. He saw us vampires as guests here, guests who owe their hosts, meaning you humans and the elder races, respect.
Respect? Meaning not to treat us
Power.
like cattle to be slaughtered
Banana.
for food.
Precisely. And the reason why I in turn gave it to Detloff. To remind him of the ideals my old friend championed.
Can't you just summon Deadloff? You're both higher vampires. There's gotta be a way.
If I'm to be
Večer,
entirely candid,
nemáte tam
there is a
telefóny a iPhony, že by ste si
But
volali
believe me, we
takto?
will be better off never availing ourselves of it. It is a last resort. Absolutely.
Last resort? The hell? Why?
There is a being who can summon Detloff. Possesses the authority, even the power, to force him to appear in a given place. But the very act of contacting this being, well, it's akin to walking a slack line extended over a chasm filled with molten lava. An
Zemielava?
exercise as perilous to me as it would be to you. A risk I'm unwilling to take. I beg you, let's do it my way. It will be both quicker and easier.
Ja berem quicker, easier.
Covenarius
Easy,
spent
easy.
half his life proving his theory. Wild guess. Making a dose of resonance won't be easy.
You guessed correctly. In addition to Detloff's tissue, we shall need a powerful occipital lobe stimulant. Effectively a poison to make one susceptible to visions.
Well, got a few ingredients to choose from. Unfortunately, all are pretty rare. There's Mamoon glands, but closest ones I know of are in Vizima. A spotted white saliva would also serve, but they were culled to extinction over a century ago. Could go with a kobold's eyes, but the creatures are sentient. Rather not gouge one's eyes out.
Given that we lack the time to sleuth this out ourselves, permit me to summon some help.
Nedokáže cez tú ruku ich počúvať?
What was that?
A raven? Rather a common sight at this latitude. Very intelligent fowl. I asked him to look for the
Typek je
creatures you
démon z
mentioned,
upírskych
him and his
denníkov.
brethren.
Má pri sebe
Perhaps they'll
havrana.
find one in the
Tak to by
area,
dopadol.
and I would hazard that a flock of ravens will spy any said creature faster than a solitary witcher would. With all due respect to your skills, my friend. It will take them some time nonetheless, so perhaps you'd care for a snifter of mandrake.
Gimme, gimme, gimme. Yo, gimme, 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 gimme,
Rarely
gimme,
say
gimme,
no to a
banana.
snifter.
Sadly, this is but a weak infusion rather than a proper distillate.
Even
Never
better.
mind.
I remember your mandrake hooch. Made people say things they'd have rather kept to themselves.
Now, what could Geralt of Rivia prefer to keep to himself?
Ještě si mě nechci pochopit, nechci se mi mluvit. To má být past, že bych se ti vyspověděl. I have a lot of secrets.
Everyone's got some secret.
I agree wholeheartedly. I also believe it wise at times to share one's secrets, unburden oneself to those one can trust.
This your sophisticated way of asking me if I trust you?
I prefer almost always to ask indirectly. It seems a test of intelligence, one you just passed.
Maybe you
Plus,
should go
musí byť.
first. Reveal one of your secrets.
Z východu musí byť vždycky na posilnenie do ľavej nohy, do pravej nohy, do pravej ruky, do ľavej nohy a do hlavy. Popovídame si, no, jaké to je byť mŕtvý.
Gotta ask you the big question, one everyone wonders about. What happens after death?
What happened after
You
that?
wish me to tell you if the human belief in the gods is well founded?
Yeah.
I do not know. We vampires differ exceedingly from you humans. Our matter, that of which we are composed, can exist without form. We require neither a heart, nor a brain, nor air to breathe.
But were
To
you
není
dead?
pravda. Edward sa trblietal.
As humans understand death, yes.
Feel anything? Understand anything?
Že upíry nie sú diskoguľa.
I felt something very unsettling. Something I cannot even name, for I did no reasoning. Only after rebirth did I begin to understand that what I had felt was cold and unimaginable fear. If not for Detlef, I might have drowned in an eternity of icy terror.
Can't have been alive then. Sheesh, experience like that must be vicious.
Indeed, it's hard to compare to anything I know. Yet you are aware we don't see death as you do. The way you cling to life, we find it entirely peculiar. You are mortals, ergo it's a foregone conclusion. You will die. It's but a question of time. Thus, I often find myself wondering why you try so very hard. To die at 20 years, 40, even 100, what's the difference? They're all but the blink of an eye.
Depends on your point of view. Man who's got 1,000,000 crowns to spend can't possibly understand one who's only got 20.
Very true. One's outlook can indeed change much.
Oni majú bezednú láhev toho
Got a new
alkoholu.
life, new body.
Si tradujú, jak
Give you a new start, blank slate.
Starting all anew is a
nechcem
very good
nikoho
concept.
uraziť.
What exactly do you
Nie.
mean?
Your blood addictions say.
Jak ľudia
Wondering if your
vonku.
body's the same.
Sharing.
if it
Ešte,
still
že ste tedy mali
remembers.
COVID.
Maybe if you drank now, you wouldn't get hooked.
All addictions are a form of slavery.
you
Re-addiction's not a
know.
risk I'm willing to take, just to test a hypothesis about corporeal regeneration and whether propensities carry over.
Fair enough. Curiosity, that's all. Sorry.
Not to worry, Geralt. Curiosity is a natural reaction under the circumstances, apart from which I've always valued that trait in you.
Always fascinated me the way vampires can regenerate. A hand growing back is one thing, but Detlef recreating you out of a wet smear? Something else entirely.
A difficult and laborious process, but one that's possible, as my presence proves. But I've heard you too had quite the adventure. They say you lost your memory.
For a bit, but Triss helped me get it back. Actually, pretty damn lucky I only had amnesia.
Yes, you humans are rather buggered in those terms. To strip you of life is, well, it's just plain easy. I've always pitied you in that regard. We vampires are much harder nuts to crack. If a member of another race kills one of us, we can be reborn with a living higher vampire's help. However, if one of our own strikes the deadly blow, death is permanent. There can be no rebirth. One of the chief reasons why vampires long ago swore never to fight one another.
Curious what you did after you were reborn.
As I'm sure you can surmise, at first I was thoroughly absorbed with recovering. As it is, I've still not recovered completely. Yet I was so weak the first year that I could not stand or move on my own. Detlef bore my weakness bravely, showed great patience. If not for him, I wouldn't be here, and I'd have regenerated far slower. Once I could at last stand unassisted, I set off for Bruges, for my one-time home of Dillingen. There I led the peaceful life of a rural healer and surgeon, enjoying my neighbours' respect and, in fact, constituting the exact opposite of the monstrous vampire the populace imagines.
Bruges, you say? Rebirth make you sentimental?
Perhaps a dash. What of you? Where have you been? Ever find your Cyrilla?
Áno, našiel, nepí.
Back then, yeah. But we parted again soon after. And when the time was ripe, she came back, defeated the wild hunt together.
Ooh. Seems I certainly missed quite a bit while I was absent.
True enough. But it's a conversation we'll have another time. Need to know more about you now. All right, give you one question. What do you want to know?
One question to ask one as fascinating as you, Geralt. Cruel parsimony, I'd say, but I shall do my best to make it count. If you were to die and be reborn as I was, in your new life, would you choose to be a witcher?
Geralt vždycky chcel byť niekto iný, že? A teraz to pýta Geralta alebo mne? Teraz to pýta Geralta, nie? Ja si viem predstaviť, že Geralt by chcel byť naspäť človek a mať aspoň deti alebo niečo, keby mohol. Z Yennefer, keby mohla aj ona. Ale viem, že je rád večerom, ale podľa mňa to je na tebe. Podľa mňa by bol radšej niekým iným.
That's what interests you most? Whether I'd like to be a witcher again?
Many things
Ono
interest
akože
me, but
teraz
there's
už
not much time
proste,
left.
že
Please answer.
nezmeníš ten fakt, ale teoreticky.
Never chose to be a witcher. Fate chose for me. Had it been my choice, I'd have picked a different profession. A profession where I wouldn't have to risk my life every minute of every day. Maybe even one that'd earn me some respect.
Thank you for being honest. Honesty is an attribute of the truly brave, and thus a privilege of the very few.
Still no sign of your winged friend. Sure it understood what you wanted?
Dead certain. Let's wait a bit longer. It'll return soon, don't doubt that for a moment.
Nech sa už nevzťahol do seba po tom, čo povedal niečo.
Ever vigilant, even in his sleep. Quite vampire-like, in fact. Are you absolutely certain they don't administer a few of our genes during the trial of the grasses?
Geralt je preto takým dobrým večerom, lebo ho to baví. No. Tak to nebolo myslené. Jasné, že teraz už keď je keď nemal na výber, tak jasné. Oj. Jak to vysvetliť? Že proste už sa to stalo, tak proste už si na to zvykol, tak proste s tým žije ďalej a ďalej a proste už počase, keď už sa na to zvykne, že je toto všetko, tak jasné, že ťa to už potom akoby tak baví, no.
Appreciate the compliment. Got something for me?
You were right. No kobolds or mamoons for miles around.
Knew it.
Allow me to finish. You see, there's this spotted white. It haunts an abandoned residence in the Caraberta woods.
Impossible. My brethren hunted down every last spotted white before I was born.
Then it seems you must revise your knowledge of spotted whites.
Že
For
správne
somehow this one
Geralt
managed to survive
chce byť
your
Witcher,
brethren's
hej?
onslaught.
Že
It seems I
podľa
know this
lóru,
home it
nie podľa
haunts.
mňa,
They call
tak
a tale about it.
Geralt by
Locals
dal tú
believe the
pro
place
možno, že ho to, že hej.
Perhaps that's how the white survived entirely unmolested.
Ja som myslela, že podotýkaš, čo som hovorila ja. A keď hovoríš, že podľa lóru to je takto, tak aký? To sa nehádam, to neviem. Čo, jaká kliatba?
Know Anything else about this curse?
I don't recall much in particular. Really don't attach much importance to such things. It was mentioned to me as an anecdote, no more.
Come on, search your memory. Something, anything could be important.
I believe it had a relation to hunger, or perhaps greed, rapacity. Someone was punished for something.
Textbook definition of a curse, pretty much.
Sorry, Geralt, I try not to clutter my mind with the details of every far-fetched tale I happen to hear. What are your thoughts?
A specimen of a species thought long extinct, and a curse in one place. That a coincidence, or are they related?
Ah, professional curiosity. Personally, I've nothing against you delving into this dilemma, but please remember we need the white's saliva. Nothing beyond that.
Whites rarely appear in the woods, even less likely to find them in abandoned human homes.
Ty si čítala
They
aj
inhabit
knihy?
remote wildernesses, old abandoned cemeteries.
What's your point?
This might not be a spotted white after all. Your little helper might have made a mistake.
I sincerely doubt it. Ravens are devilishly intelligent creatures, and they've highly developed observational skills.
What exactly did they observe?
The area around the estate, it's covered in spoons.
Spoons.
Spare me the skeptical smile. I'm but the bearer of this news. Or perhaps this spotted white is a hoarder. Or the spoons are somehow related to the curse.
Let's do this. Start making your decoction while I go get some saliva from that
Áno,
white.
až jednu.
Uses it in its brews.
Do you imagine the white will simply sell you some?
Worst case scenario, I'll bring you
Teraz,
a
jak už som si zahrala tie hry a koukla seriál, tak by som si už aj knihy prečítala, lebo už aspoň trošku tuším, že čo asi by tam mohlo byť, no.
They ought to do as well.
Tyro, ticho, Tyro. Ticho.
For a moment there, I
Tyra,
imagined you
ticho.
asking the white to spit into a vial. Quite amusing as a thought.
Ja to nestopujem počas scénky, to scénka to stopuje počas môjho rozprávania.
See you later.
Yes, till later. I shall start by perusing some tomes.
Tomes? Thought you were gonna make this decoction.
We require one last ingredient. Alas, obtaining it could prove a trifle toilsome. Thus, I hope to identify a suitable alternative.
All right. Good luck.
And to you, my friend.
A ty to máš... A ty ich máš od začiatku? Ty toho máš veľa, ani som si nevšimla. Ale mi to je, že keď máš medailón, tak máš aj toto. Naší nejlepší obranou proti výchtům skvrnitým je zůstat tiše a v klidu. Úryvek pojednání o výchtech skvrnitých od Rodrika Gilligana. Výchtové skvrnity jsou pod druhem výchtů, které zaklínači dokázali vyhubit. Jsou větší než její neskvrnitý příbuzní a za své jméno vděčí skvrnám a výranům na kůži. Výchtové skvrnity nejčastěji obývají zachátralé hřbitovy a pusté divočiny, ale občas se usadí v opuštěných lidských sídlech. Jejich největší vášně je výroba odvaru ze svých vlastních výměšků. Když člověk nechá na pokoji, vykazují pramalé sklony k násilí, pokud se člověk však cítí ohrožení, dokážou být velmi nebezpeční. Pri nízkých teplotách často upadají do stavu netečnosti. Říká se, že zaklinači přišli na zaručení způsob, jak je porazit, který spočívá v opatrném sesílání znamená jeden. Tak to aspoň zaklinači povídají. Jeden. Ale... Prozatiaľ. A nechceš aj dvojku? To koľko Koľko stoja? Monča, si bohatá, keď máš na knihy, lebo iba bohatí si kupujú knihy, takže... Že boli v Pantarej, prečo sme nepozerali? Bo som nedočítala ešte a nechcem kopať ďalšie hneď, keď nedočítam. Takže no, práve že ja by som to robila naopak. Kúpim koľko môžem a potom si to môžem čítať a nemusím riešiť, že som zvedavá, že čo bude ďalej, lebo si to môžem vedieť prečítať, keď to dočítam. Preto som si potom kúpila hneď druhú a tretiu z toho honu lovu série. Lebo ja by som nevedela čakať, dokedy si to pôjdem kúpiť, ja to potrebujem naraz všetko. Nepýtajte sa ma, prečo idem pešo, ja neviem sama, prečo idem pešo. Myslela, že to bude bližšie, ale tak odhadovanie vzdialenosti nie je moja silná stránka. Teraz už...
Heja!
Heja,
Bandages.
What's that about?
Dobrý večer, dobrý
The
večer.
dressings, bandages. Where did I put
Vítám
them?
vás tady, volej.
Forget it. Bandages won't do him any good.
What? Oh, but he breathed still a moment ago.
Breathed his last then. Bled to death. Legs broken. Femoral arteries ruptured. Wound like that, you're dead in minutes.
Gods.
What happened here exactly?
I was rolling through, fully loaded, when I heard screams. This one crawled towards the road, then drooped to the ground, lost consciousness. I jumped down to help him, dress his wounds. Then you appeared.
Pretty admirable stopping to help a stranger.
Truthfully?
No bohužiaľ mám vedený voľný čas a buď budem čítať všetko, alebo hrať, alebo streamovať, alebo alebo dať všetko. No jo.
When I saw him, I considered it might be an ambush. The thought entered my mind, I near decided to crack the whip. But to abandon a man in need? It's simply not the decent thing to do.
Decent enough in many other places.
Už
believe me.
neprázdnených širo.
Before you go on, clean your hands thoroughly and burn your shirt. Might also want to rub some time on your body to be sure. Smell of blood might attract ghouls otherwise.
Who might you be, precisely?
A witcher.
Oh. Do you expect some beast might have killed him?
To hodlám zistiť.
See what we have here. Legs broken, but cause of death's the wound. Small but deep, edges unfrayed. Either a thrust weapon or a thick claw. Maybe a wyvern's. Tough to say, and... breastplate's unusual. Dented. It's got a patina.
An antiquity, I believe. I deal in these things, so... what's puzzling is... why did he don it?
Not likely to learn that from him. Now to figure out where he came from. From that house, I'm assuming, but need to investigate. Got some work to do. So long.
Wait, I will come with you.
Kamo. Ne.
Gotta be kidding.
I work
This
alone,
isn't a
bro.
garden romp. Whatever killed him's damn dangerous, and
And it might still prowl the area, so if it's all the same, I'd prefer to accompany you.
so be it. But stay close. Keep it down.
On
And
zomre.
don't touch a thing.
Ty si mŕtvý. A to opravdu len tak, aby si vedel, že už si mŕtvý, no.
Gates locked from the inside. Clearly been jostled, though. Something tried to get out.
The very thought sends a cold wind down my back.
Damn it. Servant.
Good gods!
Stabbed to death. Over a dozen blows with a sharp object.
Come on.
Some more so punctured with great force. Blow pierced hardened steel. Man on the high road. Breastplate was identical. Throats massacred. One mighty blow. Shield along sides old and dented. Sword ceremonial. And Shay handiwork clearly. Ceremonial bowls. For little sacrifices?
Of what? Please, do not say humans.
Burn marks. Something catch fire. Explode. Strong stench. Multiple wounds on the body. All puncture wounds, but hard to tell what caused them. Victim's human, but the attire's elven.
Are you certain? How did he come by it? We've so few non-humans in Tucson.
Doublet scorched. Wriggled out of it, tossed it, then ran on.
Perhaps
Hello,
there's no
je
one
niekto
inside.
doma?
I know you're in there.
Večerná
Breathing's loud and
návšteva.
clear. Open up. We mean you no harm.
Vlkodlak? Nie.
They remain there?
Jak si špinavý typek.
Listen, I'm a witcher. I'm here to help you. But if that's gonna happen, you gotta answer some questions first. You mentioned them. Who do you mean?
Those, I don't know what they were. Spirits. It all occurred of a sudden. We were staging a scene. The death of paying homage. There was a flash of light that blinded me completely. I heard cries, though saw nothing. Then felt my own robes were in flames. I broke and ran, threw off my doublet, leapt in here, and it shut and locked the door behind me. They pounded on the door. I thought they would get through. I thought I was done for, but in the end, it grew calm.
Who are you exactly?
Durant Faucher Plamondon de Safaran, Lord of these lands, and Chairman of the Society of Friends of the History of Tucson. We meet here annually to mark the anniversary of the Elfin Homage, but something like this, by its first.
So while reenacting a scene from the past, somehow, unintentionally, you summoned a specter, A Korgorath, or a tube, maybe.
What? What now?
Best thing? You gotta do it again, of course.
Are you mad? Would you have this thing kill us?
No, don't want it to kill anyone. Precisely why I gotta do my job. Summon it again, whatever it is, and tend to it once and for all. Durand, think I can reenact the pledge, the giving of homage, alone?
It was a great, momentous event. The surrender of Tucson's last elfin king. You will need at least 3 individuals.
Nebudem vás vystavať nebezpečiu,
Damn it.
hoši.
Can't risk, can't expose you to danger.
Choďte preč.
Master, if what you say is true, then I was the cause of this massacre.
Prečo?
Unintentionally, yet nonetheless, I have a duty to assist you. A moral one.
Gods have us in their care. I shall help as well.
Let's get to
Hoši,
work.
vy ste
Start by clearing the
blbci.
corpses.
Ja
Take some
chápem,
time.
chcete
Won't start
pomôcť,
the
ale
reenactment
nie ste
before
vyčerovia.
nightfall. Things of this sort are a lot more likely to work after dusk. One last thing, though. My pay. Don't work for free, you know.
Understood. Just keep the danger at bay, and I shall be generous.
Tak toto bude náročné. Toto bude veľmi náročné, lebo tu mám 2 pat amata a chcú... Joj.
I will stand, or rather, sit in for King Ludovic upon the elfin throne, while you, Witcher, will play the Enche ruler, who we must don the costumes. All must be just right.
Divethaf, the elven king, hosted Ludovic in his own palace upon his own throne, amidst the blinding glow of a plethora of torches. Divethaf laid at Ludovic's feet a loaf of binnen and elfin bread, thus granting humans rule over seat-yielding lands. Divethaf filled at long last, the elfin king grasped his sword and shield, thus symbolically passing command of his armies to humans.
Joj. Oh.
The elfin king, erect in his pride, drew his
Ja som ho tam
blade and
vôbec
dropped to his
nevidela.
knees, thus
Bože.
acknowledging his final defeat.
Jebnutosť.
Don't interrupt.
Ludovic then spake.
I accept your allegiance and shall return in 1 year's time to...
Ah! Look! Look! The statues!
Impossible! God's mother!
Ja som slepá, lebo kde mám svoj meč? Kde mám mantikorský meč? Jebe. Haló? To čo je za damage? Ja som myslela, že neexistuje už nič horšie než lukostrelci. Nevyhodila som ho na zem. A ja som ho nedala medzi.
Come on, come closer.
Ja som ho nehodila na zem.
At long last, the Elfin King grasped his sword and shield, thus symbolic.
A teraz sú tu pekne hore uložené. Jebnuté veci.
Passing command of his armies to humans. The Elfin King, erect in his pride, drew his blade, Ludovic, then spake.
Impossible! God!
The sculptures, they came alive. By what witchcraft?
Píča to je.
Dunno. Specialize in killing monsters.
Picture
Reviving
witchcraft.
them, not so much.
I may know what happened. The statues, you see, once stood in the palace of one Defethov. I acquired them a month past because perhaps I should start at the beginning.
Si kokot, čo ti
This
poviem?
Defethov was to pay tribute to humans, producing statues of this sort each year. Yet he did so but once, for he perished in the massacre of non-humans at the foot of Mount Gorgon
Ďalší
in the year
kokot.
782. It's fortunate he did too, as Defethov had planned Ludovic's downfall, for he sculpted not statues, but columns that masqueraded as such. Columns activated with words said in homage. Columns that would have turned the king and his bodyguards into so much colorful confetti.
Typical. Treachery embodied. Elves. Psheh.
Beast's dead. Path awaits. High time I was on my way.
Hold, master. Please, take this.
A safe journey to you, Witcher.
Kokoti zajeba, ty ma tu dávať na skurvené sochy. A tie dvere čo tu, mori? Otvor sa.
Come on, Roach.
Klepná, akože čo je tu za problém, že si nemohla bežať? Čo, nejaké textúry ti zabranili kopytkami prísť, alebo čo? Joj, sereš ma.